Hello friends, Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're doing tostones. If you habla Espanol, you're probably gonna say tostones. And here how basic this thing is. All I have here is a couple green plantains that I peeled and I chopped up into 1-inch pieces. I've got a little bit of sea salt there. I've got my vegetable oil. That's about 3.5 to 4 cups of vegetable oil, heating on a medium heat. I've got my draining station set up there, so that is pretty much a wire rack with some paper towels and tongs. And you'll also need, I'm using, in my case, I don't have one of those presses. I'm going to use a can, and I've got a piece of parchment paper, because these are going to be double fried. So first we're going to, well, you got to make sure and get these out of the water here before you add it to the hot oil and drain it and pat it dry with paper towels. We're going to fry it, then we're going to press it, and then we're going to fry it again. Tostones, you're gonna love it. A nice little snack, a side dish. So many things you can do with this. All you need is a nice dipping sauce, or on its own, as we're doing here, topped with that beautiful sea salt. As usual, it's a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. So let's make some tostone or tostoni. So I've got my green plantains here, and I've got 2 of them. And the very first thing, I'm going to show you guys how to peel it. You want to take the ends off. And you're going to see some ridges. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 ridges. All you want to do is take your knife, a paring knife, and just go in the depth of the skin. You can see the depth, how thick the skin is here. Go down to the depth of the skin. Just 3 spots should be enough. Then what you want to do is get a butter knife and use the same way you made that cut there. Just use it to sort of peel back the skin, or you can push. You can certainly push as well. I grew up doing this old school, which was pretty much use your fingers to remove the skin, and I'll show you what I mean. All you would do is pull back on it with your thumb. Just until you've removed all the skin. If there's any little bits of green skin left back, just scrape it off with your knife, and there it is, a fully peeled green plantain. Then the next step is to pretty much cut it into pieces about 1 inch or so thick. It will go discolored, so what you want to do, you want to have a bowl of water ready, cool water, and then just place these into that cool water until you prepare the other one. I'm going to show you a different way here. Now we're just going to cut it into the 1-inch pieces with the skin on. And the same idea, we're going to make a slit down the side and then just peel back on it. Same way I showed you earlier. Or you can certainly peel it like this if it's not working out for you. Just get that green skin off there. Put it in the cold water again. 1 cut, 2 cut, 3. We'll do 4 of them. Get our good friend the butter knife and pretty much just peel back on it. Scrape off any remaining green spots and place it into the water. I've got them here on a paper towel. I don't know if you guys can see it. We'll just pan over a little bit. There we go. You can see them in a paper towel there. They're nice and dry now. The oil has come up to temperature. So all I'm going to do is put them in here. I'm just going to turn my heat down a little bit because I don't want the oil too hot. Because as I said, we're going to be refrying these in any case. Give that about 1.5 minutes on one side, and we're going to flip it over and do it another 1.5 minutes or so. We're just going to flip them over now. They won't take on a golden brown color at this point, but do remember we are refrying these. They're going to go back into the hot oil. So just flip them over. When I say flip them over, these were taller than my oil, so the part that was standing up, that's going to be on the bottom side now. Just going to give them about 1.5 minutes on this side. Then we're going to take them out, drain them, and press them before we refry them. So all I'm doing now is removing them from that hot oil into the paper towel basket that I have here. And we want this to cool down for about 1 minute. So what I did was I turned my heat down under my my vegetable oil here, so it remains at a nice hot temperature, but nothing too extremely hot. These are just going to cool for about 1 minute, and then I'm going to show you how to press them. Now all you want to do, you want to have that heavy, I'm using a can, you can use the back of a pan, you can use any sort of anything to press down to get a flat shape on these fried plantains. And all I have here is my piece of parchment paper, one piece on the bottom, one piece on the top, just so it doesn't stick. And I'm just going to, with a little bit of force, and I have here the shape of a tostone. So I'm just going to add it now back to the hot oil because we want that to crisp up, nice and crispy edges, and take on that nice color. So here we go again, on the bottom, one on top, press, and into the hot oil. I'm just going to continue doing that until they're all fried, until they're all pressed and in the fryer. We're going to have to do it in batches because at this point, because they're thicker, let me just show you guys what's going on here. It's a little bit thicker, it is going to take up a bit more room. And you want to watch it here as well because you've got to flip them over to make sure it gets that nice golden color. If you guys recall, we had turned the heat down after we had done the first batch of frying. So what I did was I turned it back up to medium just so I can get that lovely golden color. They're starting to float. I'm starting to see that lovely color now. So I'm just going to fish these out. I've got my paper towels already here. So I already developed that lovely crispy edges. And the sweetness of this plantain is really going to come out now. So in goes some more that I flattened out. Just getting the last batch out of my frying, well, not frying pan, but my fryer here. And while this is still warm, what you want to do, you want to get that sea salt, grab a little bit and sprinkle it directly on there while it's still warm. I'm going to show you guys something here. This is the first batch that I took out. Look at the lovely crispy edges. Tostones, guys, you're going to love it. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen with me. This one is dedicated. You know, when you think about the Caribbean, we always think about the English-speaking Caribbean. The Caribbean, we've got the Dutch-speaking Caribbean, the French, the Spanish. We've got so many different islands speaking their own language and with their own culture and their own cuisine. This one here is dedicated to the Spanish-speaking Caribbean, like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Yeah, man, even though Puerto Rico is technically an American state, it's still in the Caribbean. Give these tostones a try. Your kids are going to love them. You guys are going to love them. Some ranch dip, some cucumber dip, any sort of dip you want, or on its own with that sea salt, and you're good to go. Make it a good day, guys.